The invention of color. Photography, from monochrome to vibrance. Welcome to Lost Pages of Science. Today, we travel back in time to an era when the world was seen only in shades of gray, a world where every captured moment was devoid of the brilliant colors we now take for granted. Imagine a time when technology was just beginning to harness light's full potential, and the dream of capturing life's true colors was a distant, almost fantastical idea. Our journey today is about the invention of color photography, a milestone that not only changed how we document our history, but also how we experience it. In this episode, we will explore the pioneering experiments, the breakthrough techniques, and the visionary minds who transformed photography from monochrome snapshots into vibrant narratives of life. So, get ready to uncover the hidden palette of history as we reveal the remarkable evolution of color photography. Setting the stage for a Technicolor world, the pioneering efforts in color photography. In the mid-19th century, photography was in its infancy, and every image produced was rendered in black and white. The interplay of light and shadow fascinated early photographers, yet there was always an underlying question. Could we capture the world in full color? The first sparks of this idea can be traced back to early experiments with color separation. One of the most celebrated demonstrations came from James Clerk Maxwell, who in 1861 created what is widely considered the first color photograph. Maxwell's method was based on the principle of additive color mixing. By taking three separate black and white photographs, each through a different colored filter, red, green, and blue, and then projecting them together, he produced an image that mimicked natural color. Imagine the ingenuity it took to realize that the full spectrum of life could be reassembled from these primary colors. Maxwell's work laid the conceptual foundation for color photography, proving that it was not only possible but also scientifically sound. His demonstration was a clarion call for the potential of color, a promise that the world could be seen in all its vibrant detail. Breaking barriers, the struggle and triumphs of early color photography pioneers. Despite the promise shown by Maxwell's experiment, transforming this idea into a practical, everyday process was no small feat. Early photographic materials were sensitive only to blue and ultraviolet light, leaving reds and greens largely unrecorded. This meant that even if you could theoretically capture color, the medium simply wasn't there to do it. Scientists and inventors around the world struggled with these limitations. They experimented with various dyes, filters, and emulsions to broaden the sensitivity of photographic plates. Each attempt brought its own set of challenges: fading colors, long exposure times, and inconsistent results. Yet every failure was a stepping stone, revealing more about the complex relationship between light, chemicals, and the recording medium. Have you ever faced a challenge that seemed insurmountable at first, only to find that each setback was a lesson in disguise? The early quest for color photography was a testament to the power of perseverance and creativity, as inventors learned to coax color from a world that initially appeared only in black and white. Pioneering a new spectrum, how autochrome revolutionized color photography and beyond. The turn of the 20th century marked a turning point. In 1907, the Lumiere brothers introduced the autochrome process, which became the first widely used method for color photography. Autochrome plates were made using microscopic grains of potato starch dyed red, green, and blue, which acted as color filters. When light passed through these plates, it produced a remarkably lifelike image full of rich, natural colors. Picture a photographer in the early 1900s loading a cumbersome autochrome plate into their camera, fully aware that each shot was not only capturing a moment in time, but also the true colors of that moment. The autochrome process, with its distinctive grain and warm hues, quickly enchanted both the public and the artistic community. It was a breakthrough that transformed photography from a scientific curiosity into an art form, that could convey the beauty and emotion of everyday life. But the journey did not stop there. Over the following decades, color photography would continue to evolve. Innovations such as Kodachrome and Ektachrome film brought improved color accuracy, faster processing times, and greater accessibility to both amateur and professional photographers. These advances laid the groundwork for a new era in visual storytelling, one where every image was imbued with the full spectrum of human experience. Changing perspectives, how color photography transformed science and society. The invention of color photography has had profound implications, not just for science and technology, but for culture and society as well. With the advent of color, history was no longer seen as a series of muted, nostalgic memories. Instead, photographs could now capture the vivid reality of their subjects, adding depth, context, and emotion to the recorded past. Imagine looking back at a historical event in color. The subtle changes in skin tone, the rich hues of a landscape, the interplay of light and shadow. Color photography has the power to transport us, to make history feel immediate and real. It has influenced everything from journalism to art, from advertising to personal memory keeping. Moreover, the scientific advancements required to make color photography a reality pushed the boundaries of chemistry, optics, and material science. Researchers had to innovate new emulsions, develop better light-sensitive materials, and refine chemical processes that could reliably produce stable, vibrant images. These advancements not only revolutionized photography, but also contributed to broader scientific progress, influencing fields as diverse as medicine, astronomy, and digital imaging. Pioneers of color, the innovators who transformed photography with vibrant vision. The journey to color photography is a story of collaboration and relentless innovation. Figures like James Clerk Maxwell, the Lumiere brothers, and later pioneers who refined and expanded on their work, each played a crucial role. Their combined efforts turned what was once a theoretical possibility into a practical and influential technology. Consider the Lumiere brothers, whose autochrome process was both a technical marvel and an artistic breakthrough. Their work demonstrated that capturing true-to-life color was not merely a scientific challenge, but also an aesthetic one. By bridging the gap between science and art, they set the stage for photography to evolve into a medium capable of capturing the beauty of the natural world. Each pioneer in the field of color photography faced numerous obstacles, from technical limitations to skepticism from a society accustomed to black and white imagery. Yet their willingness to push boundaries and challenge the status quo paved the way for a vibrant legacy that continues to inspire innovation today. Stimulating insights, thought-provoking questions to deepen your understanding of color photography. As we explore the invention of color photography, it invites us to ask ourselves, what does it mean to truly capture the essence of life? How do colors influence our perception of the world and the memories we hold dear? And in a rapidly digital age, how can we appreciate the tactile, chemical origins of a process that now seems almost magical? These questions not only deepen our understanding of the technological marvel that is color photography, but also remind us of the interplay between science, art, and human emotion. The journey from monochrome to color is a story of transformation, a narrative that challenges us to see the world through a lens that is as much about science as it is about beauty. From invention to icon, how color photography continues to shape our world today. Today, the legacy of the invention of color photography is omnipresent. Digital cameras and smartphones have made capturing color a trivial part of our daily lives, yet it is built upon the groundbreaking work of those early innovators. The advances in film and digital sensors that allow us to record high-definition color images have roots that trace back to the painstaking experiments of the 19th and early 20th centuries. Color photography has not only revolutionized the way we document life, but also how we understand our history. From the vivid wartime images that bring past conflicts into sharper focus to the colorful portraits that capture the diversity of human experience, this technology has enriched our cultural heritage in immeasurable ways. It serves as a reminder that sometimes the most profound innovations lie hidden in the details of everyday life. Reviving Technicolor dreams, how rediscovering the art of early color photography enriches modern culture. Despite its monumental impact, the origins of color photography often fade into the background of our collective memory. In celebrating this forgotten discovery, we pay homage to the brilliant minds who dared to dream in color when the world was painted in shades of gray. Their work reminds us that scientific breakthroughs are not merely technological triumphs. They are also cultural milestones that shape the way we see and interact with the world. As you reflect on the history of color photography, think about how each image, whether a cherished family portrait or a historic snapshot, carries with it the legacy of those early pioneers. Their innovations continue to influence our visual culture, inspiring modern artists and technologists alike to push the boundaries of what is possible. As we draw our journey through the invention of color photography to a close, let's take a moment to appreciate the magic behind every vibrant image we now take for granted. The breakthroughs of pioneers like Maxwell, the Lumiere brothers, and countless others remind us that even the simplest innovations can transform our perception of reality. Color photography is more than a technological achievement. It is a vivid tapestry of human ingenuity, artistic vision, and scientific progress. Thank you for joining me on this exploration into the hidden palette of history. I hope the story of color photography has not only enlightened you about the science behind the hues, but also inspired you to look at the world with renewed wonder. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What aspects of this vibrant journey resonate with you? How does the evolution of color photography influence your own creative or scientific endeavors? Until next time, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember that every great discovery, no matter how long forgotten, has the power to color our world in unimaginable ways. This is your host from Lost Pages of Science, inviting you to cherish the brilliance of past innovations as they light the way forward into a future bursting with possibility.